All right, here we go. This is the Live Fire Media Show, episode number 35.
Wow.
Your host, yeah, right. Your host and I are myself, Kawaka 47, aka Dave from High Point. We have the always entertaining, usually FUD, Hunter Elliott.
Woo!
Oh, he's gonna get time for that. And joining us tonight, returning, is Chad from Range Shot.
By popular demand.
By popular demand. Yeah, but what demand? Nobody will listen.
Sure.
To this. Like Tony Simon and maybe a couple other people.
We got 2 emails asking, "Where's Chad?"
Well, that's 2 more. You got friends.
I don't want a friends. Friends slow you down.
That's all right.
I agree. I agree.
So what's up, fellas? It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, well, you know how it is. I'm kind of famous gun writer, big YouTuber.
Oh Jesus, here we go.
So I don't have time for.
Don't have time for all this.
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case, we'll just how about this? We'll just hang out.
Holy cow! Where'd it go? Oh, you'll put him on the bottom.
No, I'll put him on the bottom. I'll move him back to the spot.
He's a power bottom anyway.
Hold on. I gotta save my premiere project. I got a lot of. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I literally had a crash at work this week, and it wasn't Premiere. It wasn't Adobe. I mean, I had Premiere wasn't open. I had Photoshop open, InDesign, Bridge. I think that was it. But then like 2 Chrome tabs and Excel and some other work thing, and the whole computer just like stopped. I'm like, really? And it wasn't Adobe. It was Chrome. It was everything Chrome wise. The only thing I could access was the Adobe shit. I'm like, well, that's a first. Usually it's Adobe's showcase system.
Riveting.
Like, what are you gasping? Oh, go fuck yourself then.
I can't be interested in your story without a bunch of fucking
that's just it. You're not interested in it.
How do you know that could have been earnest? I was like, oh my God, your computer froze.
Well, let's see. I know you well enough. So when you stand there and having your hand in your chest, riveting, you're just being a
I
fucking
can't imagine you didn't have time to shut all that shit down before the podcast started because you're so busy.
Yeah, well, I was trying to get some of that Gunsite stuff finished.
Nobody cares about that. Jesus. I mean, like, seriously, who cares about Gunsite? What we fucking do?
Says the man that couldn't shoot his way out of a paper bag.
Really? That's interesting.
I thought you would find it interesting.
Not really. I'm just playing along.
Can you give me one of these?
So normally, yeah.
Is it the big one?
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah, normally I go shoot on Thursdays, but weather wasn't looking so hot for this week, and schedules wasn't working out. So one buddy was like, "What about Wednesday?" I was like, "I can probably make Wednesday work." I'm like, "Shit, I bet I can probably get there and back because it's an hour drive one way."
Oof.
Like probably get there and back in time to do this shit show. And obviously, here we are. I mean, it's a little later than normal.
It's okay.
Yeah, but the cool thing was I also went out there to test fire some shit, and all the testing turned out really, really good.
Is this MKS High Point stuff?
No. It's all just me personally. It's me dicking around.
Oh.
Yeah. So like, screw it. We'll just go into them here. The one. So look at my Beretta. It's my.
I haven't seen that this week.
Okay, are you done? Because I'll mute you or remove you. I really don't get.
Oh my God! So I forgot I didn't get the list of rules. You can't disparage a gun that Dave loves.
Well, I mean, fuck, man. You only like one goddamn thing, and it's 1911s. Oh, I'm sorry, and revolvers.
And CZ?
Yeah, he's moved on to revolvers.
Oh, I know. 1911s revolvers. You say CZ, but the rarity that you mention is CZ. It's not very often.
I like CZ's a whole bunch, man.
I know you do, but you don't show that affection.
Well, because it doesn't rile you up.
It's always about why? Because I like CZs and I have 3 or 4 of them.
No, I like to say shit that will get you riled up to try to make this interesting.
It's always interesting because I just make fun of you because you're such a fun with 1911s revolvers.
That's just
they busted his balls about the 1911 at Gunsite.
Oh, did they? Oh, we'll have to get into that. Well, all right,
go ahead.
I'm gonna cut back hard. Chad, Beretta 92s. Yay, nay? Don't give a shit. Just a gun.
They're kind of bougie.
Okay, all right. I'm
down. I mean, they're a nice gun. They're an expensive gun.
They are an expensive gun, and I think it's interesting that Beretta going from the 92 has always been like their thing, and they tried the PX4, they tried going the APX, and now over they circled back to the 92. So yeah, this thing, I've had this for a little bit, obviously, because Hunter likes to bust my balls.
Yes.
I really dig this one because unlike normal Berettas, it's got super thin grips. So it doesn't feel like a big fat fucking thing like Berettas normally do. And this bitch is single action only. So it's like a 1911, which is a good thing. Look at him. He's like, it can't be like a 1911.
Corporal Buster does not approve.
Well, Corporal Buster's wrong. He's a cat. So it's okay.
Yeah, and not smart.
Right. But the cool thing I was playing with again tonight is this teeny tiny little guy here, which you're not going to be able to see. It's not going to focus for nothing. But this little machine thing from Griffith Gunworks literally is a forced reset trigger for the 92. So yeah. So the 92 can go brrr pretty damn well. He recommends you do a slight cut to your slide, which I haven't done, and recommends playing with recoil springs. But overall, though, no, this shit works, and I can fire off like bursts like RoboCop really, really well. Yes, Hunter.
Why in the fuck would you want to do that?
Well, doesn't that get you a visit from the Alphabet crew?
No, these things are very well. I'd say these things are very gray.
It's theoretically you're still pulling the trigger.
Well, you absolutely are pulling the trigger. Not
the gun it's like a bump stock for a pistol.
No, it's not.
The gun is rocking, and you're working the trigger.
No, incorrect. I am working the trigger. I am pulling the trigger every single time. Difference is, okay.
The recoil has zero to do with it.
The recoil has zero to do with it. It's mechanically forcing the trigger to reset. So literally this thing in particular, because I've got a couple of different super safeties, FRTs, never in a pistol. It's the first in a pistol. Literally, this thing will slap the shit out of your finger because it's coming forward to reset. So the only way it's going to go off again is because you're applying pressure to pull it back to the rear. It's not a machine gun, which you could just like go like this and hold it back and go bang, 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 bang. This thing, it kicks every single time. It is literally a forced reset.
So it's forcing the trigger back into your finger after your follow-up.
Yeah.
And recoil plays no part in like you're not using the recoil along with your trigger finger to re-depress the trigger.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm holding like normal. I'm trying to drop the thing in right now because it goes in that quick and easy on the Beretta. Because then I can kind of show you that when you have it set in there, you can't. I'm drawing a blank on the words here. Well, let's go like this. I know I have to talk about it because it is a podcast. So single action only, guns locked, slide locks the rear. The trigger, see this? I can move it. When I have that force reset bit in there, that trigger will not move. It is like locked in position because of the action of the gun, the way it works on a Beretta, which I don't know Beretta's well enough to explain it. But you have your trigger bar on the outside. I think I'll move when I drop the slide. Yeah. There's a little bit of movement forward, so the trigger bar is moving. I don't say it inhibits, but it's because this guy will just kick the trigger back out to reset it. But I kid you not, when I say this thing slaps your finger gets kind of sore because it's slapping you so much. And the hilarity of, we talk about how it's a gray area. Dude, years ago, I shot, it was called the Industry Masters. I think FMG put it on. Where obviously a bunch of manufacturers and some professional shooters get together and we have a fun shoot. And the 1 year, a side match was put on by the U.S. Olympic shooting team. And their 22s are electronic forced reset triggers. And so it's like, wait a minute. So mechanical ones versus electronic ones, what's the fucking difference?
Do you remember the Remington E-Tonics?
No.
I might be mispronouncing that. It was the electrically actuated firing pin. ETONX. You pull the trigger and there was no linkages. That's what, when you talk, it made me think of that.
I mean, I can believe it. I can also say there's guys currently out there with a trigger. I think it's called the Digi Trigger. It's an AR only. and it's electronic trigger and grip, and your fire control is all associated to it. But then you can set it to like buttons in the back of it, how you want to set it to do a reset. And again, it's another form of a FRT, super safety, whatever. But again, it's electronically controlled. And I know that one's been on the market for a while. It's expensive, like I want to say $400 or $500, if not more, closer to $9 maybe. But in my mind, I always thought that's got to be kind of like the Olympic guns, the fact that they are electronically force reset triggers, and they're amazing triggers. I remember shooting their guns, like it was like feeling that thing reset, just pulling a plate rack. It was like, this is nuts. This is wicked as shit. Like I could shoot stupid fast with it. The guy's like, yeah, well, plate racks, when you get in lollipop things at 25 yards, it's about being accurate. I'm like, no, I get it. I'm just thinking how fast you could shoot though with it resetting like that. And that was almost 15 years ago. You know, so I don't know. A force reset in this thing, it's pretty fucking cool. And the biggest thing for me, honestly, it's just about turning this into a RoboCop gun. Really, that's really what it's about. I want to make a 92 become the Auto 9, which was a 93R, so I can shoot bursts like RoboCop. Why? Because it's fun. That's it. Fun.
Oof. I can see the fun part of it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Do I feel there's a practical application? No. I could do better, faster, controlled splits of 2 shots than
right
a 3-shot group with this thing. But it's fun.
But you have to take it. You have to take it all apart to take it out, right?
It's literally just pulling the slide and frame, or normal disassembly.
Yeah,
normal disassembly, just like that, and it'll fall right out. Just literally turn it upside down, and it'll fall right out.
Gotcha.
So, super, 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 super simple. He recommends you doing some other modifications for better reliability. I might screw with that on maybe a different Beretta, not this thing, because I like the way this is set up. We'll see in the future, but in general, though, it's a pretty damn cool thing. And again,
send it down here to North Carolina. I'll beat the shit out of it with some damn punches and stuff.
He'll break your punches too.
Well,
I got a really, really nice punch set for Christmas a few years ago from Chad.
Yeah,
okay.
Because he broke most of my punches.
Oh,
well, he showed up with his damn. He showed up with his damn dollar store kit, and it broke.
Yeah, good.
It's Harbor Freight, man. You know their shit's on point. It will snap off.
Sorry.
I say Harbor Freight shit works till it doesn't, and that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it will snap off.
It was snap off.
Yeah, the red box and everything.
Nice.
So
yeah, that was one of the things I had fun with, and I think it's kind of a reminder of the FRT thing. I think is cool in the sense of if you get more people doing it, more people owning it, which there's more and more outfits making different FRTs or super safeties or whatever. The more have them, the more it just makes things like full auto gun laws invalid.
Yeah, but I would think that if you're getting more of that, and then you have more of a undesirable amount getting that, they're going to find a way to rule that out.
I agree. There could be an angle with that, but I think that falls into like the Glock auto switch is a completely different thing because that literally is turning it into a machine pistol. It is literally full auto. It's not a forced reset, and those things they drop right in. Yeah, the Beretta you can just drop it right in. But right now, there's only the one guy makes them. You got to get them through him. Sure, you can get the Chinese to make a copy of it, and it'd probably break after.
Well, they steal everything, so
they do. I mean, and you come to think like the AR ones. I'm not saying you got to be super mechanically inclined, but you got to be comfortable with dicking around with the safety. Sometimes buffers and stuff. And I think dangerous hood rat elements, I don't think are going to screw any of that shit. They just want to be like throw in that Glock switch and go. But I could be wrong, man. I don't know.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Eventually, they're going to find they're not all unintelligent. Eventually, they'll find one that can do things, and they'll do it for $20 or $30. It's inevitable. It's anything that is fun and exciting is going to be ruined by a group of people.
Sure,
they're gonna take it too far.
Truth in that.
I mean, we were all young.
Yeah, how much?
You might find this hard to believe, but at one time I was fun and did do a few things.
At one time.
At one time.
Good night, honey.
Hey.
Oh, good night, Sugar Bear.
Did you get out of here?
What did he say?
He said, "Good night, Sugar Bear." As in, that's your cue to go to bed.
Night sugar boy.
I guess that works because I'm sweet, right, Chad?
Look what I
You can be.
Yeah, in a fermented kind of way.
I'll take what I can get.
Oh, I think she'd give you a kiss.
Night, night, boys.
Good night,
Night, girl.
girl. Be safe. Have sweet dreams.
And that's Hot Mess Eva.
She's so sweet.
So another thing, I'll screw up before I let you guys take over because I think it's going to take over when we talk about Gunsite. Another thing I was playing with tonight was a twofold. Was one, I've got a newer lower, my buddy's outfit here in Ohio. It's a white labeled lower that he has with his company logo and shit on it. But I have a different FRT in here that is a 3-position safety selector. Light's hitting it bad, but whatever, you get it. It's a position like a full auto or a binary trigger. I've tested it out. It runs pretty good. But the difference was I was also trying to playing around with firing pins because this is my HK upper. And they have, because it's HK, it's German, it's imported. They have their own huge firing pin built in this thing because it's got a firing pin safety. Another buddy of mine told me recently to check out, who the hell is this? Black Rifle Arms. They make some 7.62x39 firing pins that they're just drop in for the MR556s. This way you can use any other trigger basically, because the MRs kind of require heavy springed, harder hitting triggers. I've gotten by with for a while running a trigger off my SIG MCX, a 2-stage that works pretty well in the damn thing. But I was like, man, I just want to be able to play around with different stuff. I tried using a Q trigger I have, and it's been no go with these firing pins. So tonight was like, okay, well, let's try these different firing pins with the super safety. And the key difference, this is I think it's like Atrius super safety. Theirs works completely off a mil spec trigger, where a lot of the super safeties, they become a push button for the AR, and on your trigger, on the bottom of your trigger, where it's like a U shape, you have to shave the one angle down for the super safety to slide back and forth. Well, this thing, you use any mil spec trigger for it, and cool enough was it ran great with the HK upper and an aftermarket firing pin, and that's something I've just been tinkering with for I don't know, man. I feel like half a year at this point, and it was just cool to now get the thing working a little bit better off some other firing pins.
That is how you learn, by experimenting, right?
Yeah, and it's sometimes like you take the tools out, you want to try and mess with something, and then nothing works, and you're just like, this is deflating, this is annoying. And then, I don't know, something kicks and hits different. You're like, let's try this again. Let's change the variable up a little bit. And it was like, oh, shit, this thing ran great. Oh, yeah. On top of that, I was using a standard buffer in spring in this lower here, whereas HK sends you a buffer in spring with their uppers. And so I didn't even change that shit out. And the thing ran great, semi-auto, reliably, ran great in super safe mode, did a full magazine dump. It was like, holy shit, this went really, really well. Oh, it's the change of a firing pin. Kind of why. Yeah. So that's all my news and excitement, man.
I find, the super safety is the same thing as the force reset.
More or less, we'll say yes. They are mechanically different, but yeah.
I'm not sure I see the appeal.
I don't know, man. I simply look at it as I like to have fun with my guns and shit. And when you get to be able to do that kind of like full auto fire, it's fun.
Okay.
Because you have a full auto, don't you? Because you guys
I got a few.
Right. So I have 0 because I don't have
right.
I don't have an SOT. Not saying I can't do that or I don't have enough means with this whole thing. I couldn't do it. I certainly could. But just thinking more in the masses, like the super safeties, you can make them yourself. You can print them. You can have them machined, whatever. You can buy them. They're pretty inexpensive. And you're getting that full auto effect and having fun with it. And I think that's really what a lot of it is.
I don't find full auto fun.
Are you fucking retarded?
No, it wears off.
It does.
It's
one
of those.
I know it does because I have multiple super safeties I've been trying out just to try some of this shit. I did the whole bump stock thing. That thing required the most finesse. I've got binary triggers. Those I think are probably the most practical. But the full auto, no, it's for suppressing fire, for laying down cover fire, or just having fun doing a good God, child hitting the walls, or just doing a mag dump into trash. And you know what? Sometimes doing mag dump into trash is fun, but it does get costly as shit.
It does.
To each his own. I don't disparage you. I'm just like, it's not for me.
No, I get it. I really do. I just can't stand when you get people that are like, it's fucking stupid to have full autos. Bullshit. It's not stupid.
No, it's not stupid.
All of them. But yeah, your practical application to it, it's pretty thin.
It is stupid to own full auto thinking that it's going to improve your shooting skills.
Oh, at that rate, it's just stupid to be buying $300 triggers for your AR-15, thinking it's going to improve your skills when you can't. In the first place, But I get what I agree with.
Machine guns are dangerous. I would go so far as to say a well-trained man with a bolt-action rifle is far more dangerous than some Yahoo with a Glock 18 or a Glock 17 with a switch.
Look at Australia. That was all bolt. It was a bolt gun, and was it on a pump maybe, or was it both bolt guns?
Shotgun.
It was a shotgun. So still, yeah.
No, they're fun. I believe wholeheartedly that they should be completely deregulated. If you want to go buy a machine gun, you ought to go buy a machine gun.
Yeah.
Which you could 100 years ago, years ago.
Right.
You still could get them in the mail.
Yeah, from Sears.
Yeah.
But don't be like, oh, I'm gonna go buy a machine gun now, and I'm gonna be able to just become this amazing, deadly weapon.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
You're gonna put a lot of ammo in the dirt.
Dude, I've seen a lot of movies where they get machine guns and they're just amazing. It can be done.
And God, that's the worst thing. There's still so many people in general and shooters that still like believe in the Hollywood bullshit and go, I can just shoot it.
No, you can't.
The military doesn't even use it anymore. ARs and shit.
It's
pretty bad when the military won't waste ammo.
To have a very controllable machine gun, which
needs to be mounted.
I had Andrew build me one, and I did the H4 Plus buffer, and I put a Jerry Michlik brake on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, that's a gas brake.
And it would kind of do this, but you still had to lean way into it and bear down. Because if you just shot it like a regular rifle, it even with the brake on it, you're coming up and you're anti-aircraft, before you're halfway through a magazine.
I will say 99% of the time, I completely agree with you from shit that I've shot. Dude, when I did a mag dump of this thing, I swear to God, this thing didn't move, dude.
Yeah.
Like I was shocked because I really wasn't I was aiming at a target, but I was just watching the Unitech reticle and trying to, because you can't just pull the trigger back, obviously, because you are pulling it. So you're doing a weird trigger pull. You're almost, I'll say feathering it is almost the way I think to describe it. But the whole time I'm sitting there with it, I was watching that reticle. I'm like, holy shit, this thing is barely moving. Like, this is impressive. Maybe it was just the ammo, combination of the ammo, the buffer, and this gun. I don't know, man. But it was the most flat shooting, high rate of fire thing I've shot like that didn't have a quick rise up that you go, oh shit, I better hold this thing down. It's just flat. But otherwise, yeah, I agree with you, dude. They rise so damn fast, and you're not ready for it. It takes practice to control that shit.
It does, wholeheartedly, 100%.
But again, it's fun, and too often people forget that
it's okay to have
fun. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, if that's what you're looking for and that's your thing, more power to you.
Right. If you're just gonna have fun shooting the trash, go for it.
Yeah,
fire away, assholes.
Concur.
But yeah, so that was my evening before meeting up with you fine fellers to chit chat and bullshit. Was
how sweet
getting some quality range time in.
I think that quality range time would be a great segue.
It would. I was kind of waiting for you to lean into that a little bit.
So Chad and I had an adventure from Saturday to Saturday.
It was a great romantic week.
So Chad and I went to the Bahamas.
I gotta go. This is getting
hold on, no, it gets good.
When's the last time you were in a room with a vibrating bed, David?
Never.
Really?
You don't know what you're missing.
Takes the stress off your lower back. I'm trying to tell you.
Holy shit.
Hunter didn't like it. It chattered his teeth.
Here I'm getting ready to say something nice about Chad. I'm like, maybe second thoughts.
You're right.
So Chad and I were invited to go to Gunsite
Yeah.
by Meprolite.
Yes.
Gunsite, and Gunsite's what? Arizona, right?
Gunsite is in actually it's in Paulden, Arizona,
In Arizona.
which is about a half hour from Prescott, Arizona.
Okay. I know generally where it's at.
2 hours north of Phoenix.
Okay. I do know generically where it's at then.
And I'm going to preface this by saying if there's anybody listening to this and they are even considering getting training, which at this day and age, it's not a bad idea.
You should be. Yeah.
You damn sure should be. If you can swing it,
Yeah.
Gunsite would be where I would train primarily. And I would supplement their training by maybe more local classes.
Now, you've been to Gunsite a few times, haven't you, Hunter?
Correct. I have.
Like 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think this was my fourth trip to Gunsite.
Okay. And Chad, you'd never been before?
I have been also 4 times.
Oh, you've been to Gunsite that many times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think every time I've went, Chad's went, right?
Yeah, unless you've been 5 times and you went once without me
No.
before,
Damn,
before
where
I
the
came
fuck
in.
did my invite, Hunter? Damn.
You can't run
Yeah,
no
but
camera.
you should take this moment and think about it, and probably take it personally.
Yes.
No, it's cool. I have no problem. I've traveled around, hitting plenty of training, but I have not been to Gunsite. That's for sure.
So the difference on this time was like when Chad and I would go, it would be for a media event.
Right.
So a lot of times what they would do is they would take, let's say, a 3-day revolver class or a 5-day revolver class, and they would compress it into 2 days.
Okay.
So you're still going, you're still getting instruction, but it's a 3 to 5 day class that they boil down to 2 days.
Yep. That's kind of like what I've done at the Ohio Range Day. It's usually it's like 1 day, 2 day classes they compress into like a day for you out there. So I get that.
Yeah, they hit the high points and
Right.
let you shoot shit.
Right.
This was Chad, Eric Suarez of Memperlite, and I actually attached ourselves to a class, and it was the 223. Called the 223 carbine,
Defensive.
and it was a defensive carbine class.
Okay.
And
Correct.
it started Sunday, day 0, and then it went actually real instruction began on Monday, and that went through Friday from about 7:45 in the morning until about 4:30 in the evening.
Holy shit.
Except for Thursday, we got an hour and a half break and then had about a 3-hour night shoot.
Oh, that's cool.
All total per man, I think we run through almost 1,600 rounds apiece.
Yes.
That doesn't seem that bad for a 5-day class.
It's a lot of drills where you'll shoot 5 rounds.
Right.
Now I will say this. It was 11 of us in the class. Chad's a good shooter, but Chad was most improved in the whole class.
Nice.
Chad he took to it really well. He showed a great deal of improvement over, I think, anybody else.
More open-minded.
Well, but
less
also
already bad habits.
Less bad habits.
Yeah. I was probably the least experienced of everybody in the room.
Right. And that's why you end up being the most improved overall. That's cool.
Yeah, but I also, I had plenty of struggles, man. It was
we all did.
It was eye-opening in some ways, because you go there and fuck it. I've shot rifles before, right?
Right.
I'm fucking, and you get there and you do a couple things, you're like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot.
It gets like and I'm not going to go through the minutia because I don't want it to be boring.
Yeah.
But day 1 is pretty easy. You zero and check 0, and then we spent some time in the classroom, and then we go through different positions.
Hey, let me kind of ask this. I've a couple questions about this. One, how well is both your shit zeroed?
Mine was on. I zeroed my rifle. Chad zeroed his rifle 3 or 4 days before we flew out.
Okay.
So I had to make. I think we both had to make minor adjustments, and I'm going to blame that on probably the difference between Raleigh, North Carolina, and Paulden, Arizona.
Right.
Because now this is up in the mountains,
Right.
so there's a hell of an elevation difference.
Yeah. No, there's a hell of a difference.
But we were on paper at 50 yards when we got there. But now there were some people that couldn't hit their ass with both hands.
Dude, I can tell you from Ohio Range Day, I think it was the 2019 class when Rick Crawley, the guy who puts the whole event on, he was doing all the training, and he put out a comment. Somebody said, what's the one thing you really hope for out of this event? And he goes, that everybody comes with a zeroed rifle. It was like, bah.
Yeah.
You'd think that would happen, but how many come in with either no zeroed rifle or a half-ass zeroed rifle is probably way more common.
It was just a few folks there. But there were a few folks there that were struggling. Right. Now, there were some people there that had money that had really, really, really nice gear.
Good for them. What the fuck does that do for you? You're going to say something, Chad. Go for it.
I was just going to say that, I don't, with my experience level, it was, zeroing in was a little bit difficult. It was a new rifle and a new optic. The optic is, zeroing it in, much like any other optic. Right. I get nervous doing some shit because it's you want to make sure it's on, and right. And when you're shooting, standing, holding up your weapon, and it feels like you're doing this, right? So it's not quite there. And then I did forget to zero in my magnifier, so I had to do a hold off on that. But it was easy to correct. I mean, once I figured out what it was, there's nothing to it. But yeah.
Now, the other question I want to ask both of you was, what were you guys running? Guns, optics, whole 9 yards.
Chad, you want to go first?
Mine was BPM, Barnes Precision BR15 that Andrew so kindly made for me the week before I left.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
yeah.
It was. The bastard was brand new out of the box.
I've been there and done that before too.
And my optic was a True Vision, and then I had a 3 times magnifier on it, and which we made a little video on the end of it, but we ended up not modifying my rifle, but Eric brought a bunch of stuff that I was able to pillage.
Yeah, we nicknamed Eric Suarez Pro Shop.
Yeah, he Pro Shop
because he kind of, Chad had never done anything like this before, so he didn't really know how to set his rifle up.
Right.
Which Eric knew that in advance.
Yes.
So there was a lot of options, and it took Chad a half a day, and he was dialed in.
That's cool.
No, I mean it was the first day was dialing in the gun. It was fine. Then I had a sling. I mean, when you
how do you run your sling?
And I've explained this on a couple other things. We talked about this, but when if you don't know shit, which I have no problem admitting I don't know shit. I'm not. Right. I was never in the military, and stuff is subjective. You try. Hunter likes it. I may not.
Yep. Yep.
So my sling, I showed up with my sling, and I had it wasn't hard to operate, but it wasn't comfortable, and it wasn't very, it wasn't a good sling.
What was your sling?
And that's, I don't know, it was just some cotton weave. Just, I don't have any idea.
Okay.
Some piece of shit.
I'm a total like G.I. Joe,
right. This is just something we Hunter and I were doing something, and we talked about I needed a sling 2 years ago for something. I bought it. I never used it. And we get to Arizona, and I put it on, and it's really difficult to move in and out.
Right.
And Eric looks at me and
a quick adjust sling. Okay.
Right. And Eric's standing over there, and he's got a sling, and it's got a nice padded back strap on it, and it works real good. And he's, showing it off, going, "Hey man, look at this. Look how great this one is, And he's like, "I got another one of these, at his open trunk of his truck, every day at halftime we're rifling through there." But yeah, he had a sling, and we changed a few other things.
Right. Like what?
But now I know what I need to do something like this.
Right.
You know, as opposed to, you know, Hunter showed up at his gun. He's done this before. His gun was pretty much, you know, set to rock and
for
roll.
him. Yeah, set for him, ready to go.
Yeah, he has a lot of experience doing this stuff. You know, I have when I do shit like this, sometimes I tend to probably not put as much forethought into things as I should, because I just kind of wing it. And well, you know,
but if you go from like standing at Hunter's range shooting, or you go out to the range somewhere else, you just
that
stand
was
there.
like Andrews and stuff like that. It's not training. I mean, not in this aspect.
Yeah, completely different. When you got to have your shit on you, ready to go, be able to move with it, adjust it. Yeah, if you've never done any of that, you're kind of a fish out of water moment almost. I mean,
When Chad took a really nice defensive AR class with Trace Army Group.
Yes,
but it was a day class.
But that was also that was also a different gun.
And that was also that was a Colt 6920.
Also was a new gun.
I'm beginning to see a pattern.
That
here.
was
right.
Yeah, that was a different atmosphere. Also, you know, I struggled a little bit in that class, but that was only a day. I didn't struggle as much, but you know, it is what it is. You know, you go to these things, man, and you're with 10 strangers or 9 strangers. You know, and part of this is getting used to being under duress or under, you know, being made to feel uncomfortable.
Right.
You know, so when you start fumbling things or doing things and your shots are off and you're like, fuck, I shoot better than this. You know I've done it. You know, we shoot at Andrews or we shoot at Hunters. We, you know, Hunter, Holden and I, we'll jive back and forth, you know.
Right.
I'll shoot, if I shoot something fast with a semi-automatic pistol, you know, he immediately goes after me and then kicks my ass in time and accuracy, you know. It's funny, you know, but you know, it's not like that
when you push each other.
Yes, it's not, you know, when you're around 9 other people, and like I said, some of these guys, I mean, shit, these old dudes were kitted out, you know.
Right.
Like they're thinking the world's going to end tomorrow, and you know they're all loaded up.
And this was custom shit. 2 of the guys.
I mean, this wasn't no bullshit you pulled off a damn store shelf. You know, these guys.
These guys were having their shit custom made for them. Like they would go get measured for their chest ridge, like you would get measured for a suit.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I mean, you know, hey, if the world goes to shit, I mean, we just go there and get some really nice shit. That's
there'll be a good loot drop. Yeah, those guys will be a good loot drop.
I mean, who am I kidding? I won't make it a week, but it'll be a good week.
Right. It'll be a good week.
Chad did really well. I was impressed with Chad, and he was shooting a 14.5-inch SBR.
Yes,
you know, and he had put maybe 25 rounds through it before class, maybe. And that was he just come over here and we put the Meprolite TLR1. That's a fucking flashlight, Hunter.
Yeah.
Yes.
We put the Meprolite True Vision on.
Oh, and, True Vision. Okay.
He shot about a half a mag through it. Then we zeroed it and then called it rawhide.
Nice. Yeah, and shipped it.
It threw it in the damn Pelican case.
Oh, you shipped it. You didn't fly with it.
Well, we flew with it.
We flew.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So you had and I talked.
Yeah, I mean, we zeroed this. We left on Saturday morning. We zeroed this piece of shit on Friday afternoon.
Friday night, we zeroed it and flew out Saturday morning.
That's awesome. Again, I've been there and done that many times. Absolute last fucking minute trying to put a zero.
I said piece of shit, but I didn't mean piece of shit. I'm just saying.
I know what you mean. But yeah, Hunter, you run a BPM. So what'd you take?
Dave, I did
because you and I talked on the phone a little bit before you left,
and in our last podcast we talked about it, and I was bringing my 7.5-inch.
Right.
So I scoped the bore, and my my gas port was elongated a wee bit. Of course,
shot the piss out of that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 5,000-6,000 rounds through that rifle. And all but 6 of them were suppressed.
Right.
You know, so I sent a picture of that to Andrew, and I'm like, hey man, what do you think about this gas port? And he goes, it's a little elongated. He's like, but you're running an H4 plus buffer. It'll be okay. But Hunter, I'm gonna tell you this one more time. Please don't run a 7.5-inch rifle for this class. And so I was like, well, I mean, that's what I want to do. So I was like, I need a barrel. And he's like, I'll build you an upper. Just come get it. So Chad and I rode in there Friday morning, and he had built a 7.5-inch upper, and he handed it to me. When I went to grab it, he didn't want to turn loose to it. And he said, let me plead with you one more time. Don't take that 7.5-inch rifle to this class. You're going to regret it. And especially because we stretched him out to 250 yards.
Right. At Gunsite? At Gunsite?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm like, well, what should I do, Barnes? And he goes, 11.5. And he said, that's going to be your sweet spot. And he goes, if you'll give me 10 minutes, I'll build you an 11.5-inch upper right now. and he said, take them both.
That's rough. Man, that's rough.
And I was like, okay. So he did. He just scooped up a bunch of shit and built 11.5-inch upper. I had my rifle. We swapped everything over and took it out to his place and test fired it, and it run like a sewing machine.
Nice.
And so I wound up taking 11.5-inch rifle. I've got it here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I saw the one photo you posted online. I wasn't sure.
Technically, you have mine too.
And Chaz is still here. He left it here with the hopes I'm going to clean that filthy bastard.
Why? Just keep going.
But
because
keep going. Just
yeah,
a little bit. Keep going. It's fine.
But I will say this.
No, it won't.
Andrew was right. I'm thankful that I didn't take that 7.5-inch gun because it wasn't as punishing.
Right.
11.5 was really nice to shoot, even out to 200. Now we shot on paper to 100.
Right.
And then at 2 and 250, we shot steel.
Right.
But, I had zero problems at 250 yards with 11.5.
Yep.
And it's still, now prone at 100 yards, I shot 2 3-shot groups that, were probably 2.5 inches. You could cover them up with a golf ball.
Yeah.
So that I run the Mepperlite TLR1 SR, which is the newer model. It's got the option to run a little speed ring around the red dot, little red speed ring.
Sorry, you confused me. I think you mixed up. You said
it's a True Vision SR.
Okay.
Yeah.
You start saying TLR1. I thought that's Streamlight.
Did I say TLR1 again?
Yeah, you did.
Why have I got that flashlight on my brain?
I don't know.
Anyways,
Leprolite
True Vision SR, and it's a red dot, and you can run an optional speed ring,
which is really nice.
Like a Neotech.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say it's a little better quality than Neotech.
Really? The Neotechs aren't slouching, man.
Yeah. And then I run a 4 times magnifier.
Are you not a fan of Neotechs?
I'm okay, but I'm not a fan of red dots.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. I definitely like I like running red dots more than anything, and I run a combination of EOTechs and aim points and cheaper shit. But I'm looking at this thing, the True Vision.
The True Vision. And now I'm gonna say this: I've run aim point, I've run EOTech, I've run ACOGs. The Mepperlite, the True Vision, I really, if I had to pick, I would pick the True Vision SR over all of them. I like the fact that it's got a great big window. Looking
at it reminds me of Neotech in that sense, like a bigger window like that, which it is nice. I do think that is a huge plus. It looks pretty compact though, too.
It's not bad. I mean, you can sit here on my little SBR.
I mean, it looks like it's not really, maybe a little shorter than like this EOTech.
Yeah, it's actually a little smaller than that.
It looks like it's probably get rid of this front, like it's just that part.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I like it. I run a 4-time magnifier, which I really only used when we got to 200 yards and beyond.
Right.
but I was able to make hits with the TLR1 at 200 yards without a magnifier.
The True Vision.
Fuck.
TLR1 again, yeah.
And my brain is like, why do I keep? I don't know why I keep saying that.
Because there's a light on.
You're obsessed with that thing for some reason. The TLR1.
Yeah.
Yeah, True Vision.
No, like Hunter, you know, I've told you many times. I've taken cheap red dots to two different AK matches, 1.762, 1.556, and I was hitting shit out to 600 yards. Granted, I had a good spotter, but still doing it with a red dot, like people act like a red dot can't be accurate to a distance. Bullshit. You know, it certainly can. You know,
I'll tell you that.
Make it easier? Sure, it does. Go ahead.
I think red dots are. I'm in a different type of school than he is. I think they're amazing. I'd have them on everything.
I most of my shit is red dotted. Most.
I'll say this with all honesty. Honesty. I'm having word problems tonight.
Dude, are you smelling burnt toast? Are you okay?
I'm not sure what's going on. Leaving this class,
yeah,
I have a deeper appreciation for a quality red dot.
Nice.
And I'm confident that at least on a few of my rifles, because I have a Meprolite M22 on my little Colt 10.3 SBR.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm running the True Vision SR on this 11.5, and then I've got an MCO Pro, which went back on my 7.5. All Meprolite stuff.
So it sounds like you're running more than a few reflex sights. I don't understand how you're still.
Yeah, I mean, I am
down with them. I don't get it.
Well, I've always, you know, like I took the class with, or Chad and I took the class with Trace Army Group, and I learned pretty quick that, especially at like 10 yards, 15 yards, they're way faster than irons.
Oh my God, they're amazingly fast, dude. Yeah.
There's really no downside to them, other than it. You know, I don't want to become a lazy shooter.
Now, why do you think you become a lazy shooter?
Well, because you rely on that red dot. You know that the True Vision is always on. You know, it's a shake awake. You come to rely on it. The battery goes to shit, and you're like, now what? So I'm going to change my mantra 50% and say, absolutely, for your rifle, have a red dot on it. Absolutely have backup irons and know how to use both.
Yeah. That's where I'll give you is like, if you don't know how to use irons, I think there is probably a larger, maybe millennial group and younger that have no clue how to use iron sights.
Yeah.
Now, I will say I've got a couple setups that don't have backup irons, like this HK is one of them. And it's just because laziness on my part, I've just not put any on it. Same with my MCX, but I usually do run them because I have had batteries die in the middle of a string of fire in a class. And at that moment, I'm going, oh shit, I'm breaking up those irons and I'm finishing a run with irons, you know, but I started with irons, so it's not a big deal. But if I have a preference, so give me a dot.
There was a guy on, we were shooting drills. Now, preface to say, and Chad, correct me if I'm wrong, this wasn't a grueling course,
right?
But there was a lot of movement,
right?
There was a lot of going from offhand to kneeling, going from offhand to prone, going from offhand to prone, going down, you know, at 50 or 100 yards and shooting a few groups, and then kind of doing a fast walk to the 100-yard line, to the 0 yard, to, you know, tape your target. There was a lot of, you know, one drill we did a lot of night and day is, you know, even number targets go to what they call 10 gun. I call high port here. Even number targets go to high port. Odd number targets when you're when it flips to you, engage. So when the targets flip, if you were just say odd number, you would put 3 rounds center mass. When that happened, the even number targets at high port would, let's say we're at the 5-yard line, you would move to the 10.
Okay.
After the shooting was completed.
Right.
And then the same thing would happen when the targets turned, the people at the 5-yard line would be at high port. They would come back to the 10, and as soon as they got to the 10-yard line, we were already, here coming down and engaging. So it was kind of like a leapfrog.
Yep. And
we would do that from the 3-yard line to the 50-yard line, and then back, and and then check your targets. It was a lot of, and then of course now it wasn't all square range. We did what's called the military crest, which was it was a trail through the woods.
Yeah, in Arizona.
Right. How far would you say that was, Chad, that you had to walk?
Are you talking about the first one or the second one?
Well, remember the first one was we did the military crest and then 2 outdoor simulators.
So you're talking about the one the first one with the little target everybody missed?
No, the one before that where they had with like the paint on the tree, that's where you had to get your position.
I mean, I don't think that was more than probably walking 150 yards.
Yeah, maybe. I think it.
Because it was kind of a windy little. Yeah, you had different positions. You had to sit up in trees. They had things marked, and where you would.
But
different paint.
Are you having to scan for targets left and right, or are they all primarily on one side?
On one of them, there was only on the left side. And then on the other 2, you had to go left and right.
Okay.
No, left and straight. Left and straight.
Like left straight. It did maybe off a little bit.
Okay.
The military crest, you would have targets anywhere from 5 yards to 150 yards, and they would have like a place on the tree painted, and that was where you had to engage at. Okay. And you had to engage every target you could see. So, let's say you get to station 2 and you engage, the steel targets are camouflaged.
Right. Oh, shit.
Yeah. 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 So let's say you get to station 3 and you find 3 targets and you shoot them. When you're done, if there's any left, the instructor will tell you where they are. But then you go to station 4. Some of the targets on station 3, you may could engage from station 4.
Okay.
And you better.
Right. If you can see it, hit it.
If you can see it, you got to shoot it.
Yeah.
And so it was probably 150, 200 yards, but you're doing this, you're winding up and down and through. And then they did what was called an outdoor simulator, which was targets anywhere from like maybe 3 to 15, 20 yards. And you're just stalking.
That's cool.
Then we had a shoot house. The first day we did the shoot house with blue guns. Everybody was learning.
And the Beretta the AR-15 with the Beretta magazine and firing system in it.
Yeah, that's from
the Beretta. Said
no, but it's from another company. Who makes that?
That's the company is Beretta.
No, because I've got some of their stuff. It's what
do you is like shooting some ammunition or what?
No, you put the mag in, and I think you changed the bolt, and you could squeeze the trigger, and it would reset the trigger every time.
Okay. Mantis, yeah, like a Mantis system.
Mantis, I'm sorry.
Okay,
you're right. I apologize.
Yeah, no, I heard the Mantis are actually pretty dope for dry fire.
Yeah,
but you can put it in your regular AR, and kind of train with it.
Right, and it resets your trigger.
Yep.
Right.
So we did a shoot house. The first shoot house we went through, we did with blue guns and the Mantis Beretta, and we spent some time there just kind of going through it. And then the next day we did a practice shoot house with shoot and no shoot targets.
Nice.
And then Friday we did another shoot house with shoot and no shoot targets. That was way harder, but in there we used frange.
Okay.
So it was.
They supply the frangible. You have to bring that yourself.
No, you have to.
Supply everything.
Yeah, now they've got a pro. Like I didn't show up with knee pads.
Knee pads
And
are good. Man.
Don't not do
Or
that.
elbow pads.
Elbow pads are one I usually skip on, but yeah, I usually end up with scarred elbows. But knee pads, though, fuck, dude, knee pads make a huge difference.
But that, I bought a set of really nice knee pads at the pro shop for like $30.
Oh shit, that's not bad at all.
And they're like the black knee pads with the thick plastic,
Yeah,
and the Velcro straps and all.
Yeah.
I mean, now, and I will say this for Gunsite. Now they have a new pro shop. It's about 4 times the size of the old one, but the stuff is reasonable.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Like they don't
That's
have
cool.
you bent over a barrel, and they don't charge tax.
Oh shit! Oh, it's nice. It's not like a full MSRP shop. It's like, oh,
No.
you had $75 for one.
I doubt they. I mean, I'm sure they're making a little bit,
Right.
but the same knee pads I bought for $30, I've seen for like $65.
Right.
I mean, the cleaning kits and all were,
I mean, they could be just getting stuff and selling like 5% of her cost. So
Yeah,
probably.
stuff,
That's what
I
I
think-
was. And I think that most of that stuff is there in case you get there and you're in a bind.
yeah.
You could get it, and you're gonna buy it cheaper than you could go out in town and get it.
Right.
So
No, that's cool.
I think in that sense, Gunsite's trying to look out for you, because if you do show up without something, they're not like, oh well, we're our only option. We got you $80 for, because I'd have paid the damn $80 for knee pads.
Here's our Cryo Precision Ultra Tactical Navy SEAL knee pads.
Yeah, and they had like they had different models of knee pads, elbow pads. They had shooting glasses. They had all. And here's the wonderful thing: if you had something that went down or broke during training, or you forgot something, the instructor would go to his truck and get it.
Oh shit!
Here's a
That
flashlight.
happened a couple times.
We had a guy on the range. His red dot went down.
More than just battery. Damn.
Yeah, Eric helped him diagnose it. It was the little on the battery, the negative
spring
terminal,
on
you
it.
got that little spring.
Mm-hmm.
The little spring had like got broken and conquered, and the contact below it had broke.
Right.
And the guy was like, every time I pull the trigger and shoot it, the red dot goes out and it comes back on.
Oh shit!
And then, like halfway through that drill, it didn't come back on.
Oh, and he didn't have irons, did he?
No.
No,
It pays to have irons. That's for sure.
but he did have about a damn $3,000 Daniel Defense rifle that looked amazing.
Well, yeah, man. But
Well, but his I forget what kind of optic it is. It's a tube, with the 1x8 or
I
1
think
by
it was
whatever.
an 8-point. One an 8-point.
No,
I mean, aim points.
No,
are
I don't think
like
so.
tubular typically.
this is like a Leupold, like a 1x8 or something like
Well,
that
Well,
with the roll magnifier.
That was his LPVO.
That's an LPVO.
That's what went
Yeah.
down.
Leupold has some.
No,
red
no.
dots. They're tubular red dots.
Yeah, LPVO don't run on batteries.
No.
That's the optic. That's just like a 1x4 power scope.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that's what went down.
No, he had a red
He had
dot.
a
on his rifle.
cantered red dot. He had a cantered red dot.
Say that again.
A cantered red dot.
Can't
He had the
red dot.
LVPO, and then he had the outlet. Yeah.
Yeah, Leupold still does have a tubular red dot that looks, I would say, kind of aim point ish, along with obviously Delta Point Pros that typically people would put at a cant.
Yeah, no, this he
I'm
said
gonna get a glass of water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it, man.
he said the manufacturer. I thought he said aim point. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, dude, aim points typically are bomb proof, but dude, as you know, anything mechanical can and will fail.
Right.
So it doesn't fucking matter, I mean,
Well,
even high end shit still dies and breaks. I mean, let's be honest about it.
I'll tell you 2 things that I learned. One thing that I reinforced, and one thing I learned, and this is probably the best lesson I learned as far as for rifle. Now, if you're going to take a class, carry 2 different color magazines.
Okay.
Because the instructors, when you loaded frange, they wanted to make sure they could glance at your magazine and knew.
Right.
Because you're shooting inside of a house, and the shoot house is center block.
Right.
So you shoot that with 55 grain or 60, it tear it all to hell.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, and then plus, I got these are These are sand. It's what Magpul calls
Oh, I
them.
was like, is that Arctic?
But it's white. So, like, a lot of times, man, when you're in drills, you may, like, we did a lot of walking and shooting. And you got people to the left and right of you, and you're dropping mags. You're reloading while you're walking.
Right.
And so
mag retention, or you just drop on the ground?
It's your
Depending
call.
on what they called.
Okay.
It's, they're like, a lot of times I would, if it was like in between, like we're back on the firing line, I would do, now what I've always called an administrative reload, they called a tactical reload, which means, you still got a few rounds left, but you retain it. And then the speed reload was you run the gun dry, bolt locks to the rear, let it hit the deck.
Right.
So, but with these white mags, I could look at the trail of mags and I'd be like, those are mine.
I mean, that's why a lot of mine, I've done the Die Hard red taper on the bottom of them, and then still number them. Usually I'm kind of slacking lately. I need to go back number them. But yeah, just different ways you need to identify your shit, because when everybody's running Magpul PMags, kind of makes it fucking hard to tell what's what. I mean,
now this is save my ass. Do you know what Curlex is?
No, not offhand.
This is like a sticky it's like a sticky gauze that sticks.
They use it. They use it in around wounds. It's usually skin colored, skin tone.
So, I wrap this around my pistol grip, and I got all up in my trigger guard.
I've seen guys lately wrapping the shit out of their guns, especially up front on their handguards too.
So
it looks like a gauze, like a camoed gauze.
And I did that because I'm running here, and now I don't grab it like this.
No, most don't. Inexperienced do, but
I'm running it like this. And so
that's different.
Yeah, I grab it like this. And so I'm doing a push pull.
Mm-hmm.
And then after about 2 days of that, it was wearing the inside of my fingers out.
Yeah.
So I wrapped it. So Eric had Curlex. I think that's a brand name.
Okay.
So I wrapped it around, and it's soft and it sticks to itself. So I wrap that all around this forward grip. So when I'm grabbing it like this, it doesn't wear my fingers out. And then here, you can see where my finger is. I'm all high up in this pistol grip.
Mm-hmm.
This is soft.
That's cool. No, that's cool, because I know you, not being a trendy bitch or anything, and putting on some, what I see is like Instagram wise, some trending shit on guns. You just put a good explanation on all of it. That's pretty cool.
I mean, because for 2 days I didn't run it. You probably can't see that, but that damn we're the.
Do you ever run gloves?
No,
he doesn't. I do,
and I struggle.
I run gloves in my support hand a lot of times, especially on the rifles when you're holding it. I mean, like this thing, I've got a wrap on this one, but still, I run gloves a lot of times on that support hand. I don't my fire hand because I hate gloves on my trigger finger, and on handguns I hate it even more. Like it's just.
And I took the Curlex. Right here, this is the part of the sling that touches my neck.
Ah, yeah.
And after days of lifting and moving, so I took and wrapped that around. This is where like my neck is and my shoulder. And man, that made it so much more bearable.
That's also kind of why I've got a couple. I guess it's like a rugby style shirt where it's got like a higher collar.
Yeah,
it's not like a polo, but it has a higher collar for that very reason of just keeping the sling from cutting your fucking neck. Because God, that's annoying.
But that stuff right there, man, and it sticks to itself.
That's pretty cool.
I think it was the third day, and I'd already wore a hole in my middle finger from grabbing that rifle.
Right.
And Eric was taping his fingers up with it. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And he had it black. And he's like, oh, it's a gauze and it sticks to itself.
That's what I need for this thing.
And I'm like, and so the black he had was like medical grade sterile, but he also had just a roll floating around, and it was kind of a camouflage color. And I'm like, dude, he's like, I got it off of Amazon. He goes like 4 rolls, like $8.
I was literally looking at like some of that shit the other day just to think of possibly wrapping up some of the high point HP15s for like promo shots, because why not? Because like I said, because it is, I've seen it as like a trending looking thing, but now again, you talking about it is put an actual point to it. That's slick.
Well, so the range at Gunsite is pulverized granite.
Oh,
So, you know, your hands are sweaty. My hands got a little bloody, and a hard Magpul pistol grip at that point becomes slickery.
right. Slickery.
So this just, I mean, it made it infinitely more comfortable. Hey, psst, Rocco the cat.
It's like a kid getting into some shit.
That made it for me. This not only helped with the trigger guard, this area, but
Right.
this it made it less slickery, and then this didn't tear my fingers up so bad. So I used about a damn half a roll of that stuff on my rifle, but immediately made a difference.
Right.
So we were wrapping our rifles up with all kind of shit, man, just because, you know, it was long days. It was a lot of handling, a lot of dry fire.
Right.
You know, we went through about 1,600 rounds a piece. That's probably half as much of the time as you had holding your rifle. So you really learn where the pinch points are.
Yeah. Chad, were you running gloves with your rifle?
Yes.
What were
Yeah,
you
I
running?
ran gloves. I didn't wrap anything on mine. I bought some
Mechanics
gloves
or
in the
what?
pro. No, they were at the pro shop.
Okay.
They're not very appealing, but whatever. They
Hey,
I
they
ended
took
up
your fingers, man. They took your digits. That's all that matters.
yeah, you know, with the temperatures in the morning and stuff there, I get the ends of my fingers crack and it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
the
dry as
first
some chip out
yeah,
there.
and the first they make you close your dust door on your AR.
Ejection.
Oh yeah.
Your
Yeah.
ejection
Yeah.
port.
Wow.
Yep.
So
I have a
every
lot of training does that.
after they're done, every drill they're done,
Mine's
they
every-
want you feeling a bolt and they want the door closed.
I'm
Yeah.
used to that shit. Doing that. Just come
Whatever.
right
I like riding with my convertible top down. I don't close the windows on it all the time. So after the first day, after taking that door and cramming it between my fingernail and the end of my finger, you know, to where your eyes are tearing up because it hurts so damn bad because you've done it about 10 times. I went and got a set of gloves, and I didn't really have an issue with that again.
Right.
Right. They do some things that you understand that they're doing it for safety and they're doing it for repetition, so that you will practice this way.
Sure.
But you know, to me, like I said, I'm not as experienced as everybody else. The dust door thing, I mean, maybe in Arizona it's a big deal. But, you know, in my living room and safe, it's not a big deal. I'm not rolling around on the ground with my gun. But
at the end of the day, I'm always going to tell somebody, you do you.
yeah,
But I did have an instructor. It was funny. It was me and one other guy. We were the only two guys not running ARs. He was running an AK. I was running an ACR, which it's like an AR-18, but there's no dust cover to it. It's more open tolerance AK-ish. So if anything falls and hits my bolt, it's going to fall right out through the mag well and it clear and be gone. But he was adamant about flicking up that dust cover. And as much as me and the AK guy would like laugh, like, we don't have to close dust covers. We're like, you know, it makes sense why it's there. Like that when the shooting is done, you've finished your threat, whatever. What is the harm in closing that thing, keeping it clear? Yeah, Arizona versus Ohio versus North Carolina, but you know what? You trip and fall and you go face down, and therefore it's bolt face, you know, or injection port down in the mud. If that thing's shut, it's a bit more clear. I get it. I don't think that one's really a bad habit for as minimal effort it takes for you to close it up and do it. I think that's worth
yeah,
doing.
I'm not saying it's a bad habit. It's just something that I've never done before.
Right.
And it was something that they, you know, there's a couple of things that they kind of drilled into your head over and over and over and over. And like I said, you know, they said it was pulverized granite. You know, It's dusty. It's
That shit will get
you know. I mean, there
in.
wasn't a day we came home that I wasn't looked like I was working in a granite mine.
Right.
Oh, hold on. I got a picture of my rifle after like the second day. And
Yeah,
I
I mean,
do that shit to my guys, even when we're on lines doing drills. If we've shot a bunch of drills, I'll literally just go dust cover, and they know if I don't hear those things click, I'm gonna bitch them. Go close your fucking dust cover. Why? Just because it's not a bad habit. It's really not. Let's see if we can see.
yeah, I mean, look at his magnifier, man.
I said the optics, yeah, the gun, but the optic, yeah, the magnifier looks like it's.
But I mean, look all down here.
Yeah,
all that orange is just dirt and dust.
Yeah, just Arizona dirt on the side of the receiver.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another thing about the optics. If you see a picture of us in class, I had gotten a towel, and Hunter had his own towel. But I mean, I bought mine at the pro shop. But every day we're wiping off those optics with those towels. And they didn't. The lenses are pretty tough because we didn't scratch them. Not saying it can't be done.
Right.
But we try to take a little care and blow them off and wipe them off, because you don't always have lens cleaners. But
if that class was North Carolina, I'm using the towel to be constant wiping the damn sweat
off
your forehead from.
I always keep the towel on my high-speed gear belt. Something else too that Andrew learned me, and I think is worth pointing out.
Yeah,
is so I run an ambi safety on my rifle.
Yep, I do.
And I'm right-handed, but the reason I do is a lot of times, like, so you go take class, especially at Gunsite. If you're getting ready to move or step off the line, they want you to put the safety on, which I get. So you're here, boom, boom, boom. You're done shooting. I can put the safety on a whole lot. I could just take my trigger finger.
I do the same thing with the ambies. I use my the side of my finger, my hand to flick it back. I do the same thing.
So, I'm going to the shoot house and I'm boom, boom, boom. Okay, next room. And I could just come here and do that. And that's quicker for me than having to roll my thumb over and engage the safety.
I tell you, I'm going to say, I think throwing the safety on for movement, I think you're going to find that completely depends on whose class and where you're at. Because before I took any formal training, me and my buddies, we got in the big habit of anytime we'd move, it was on safe. Even we're doing the 9-hole board, from port to port, it was safety because it doesn't take that much time to throw it off to fire. But then I took a class from a legendary guy, and every time I was flicking my safety before I'd move, he was like, "What are you doing? Why are you kicking it off safe?" And I was like, "Because I'm moving." He goes, "There's a threat down." I was like, "I don't know." He goes, "Then why are you taking it to safe?"
Yeah, you don't.
And I was like,
I think
okay, I get that, but I guess
they didn't want you to. Gunsite was like, once you feel like the thread is over and you're going to move to the next, in between rooms or whatever.
After the engagement, your safety was on, and then it would
But I mean, we would shoot and then run down a line, and as we run down the line, we were still on fire. He wanted us on fire. He was like, "Do not throw the thing on safe." He's like, "We've already drilled into you where your finger should be. So if you trip and fall, you're not going to go and gripping and reaching in." And we're all like, "Yeah, okay, we get that." And my kind of takeaway was like, I've trained myself so much on throwing that safety on and off, and I'm so quick, my thumb's resting on to throw it to fire, that it's like, I don't have a problem moving it, to safety when I run to somewhere and flick it back off before it's even in my shoulder and ready to go. But again, that's why you always go with an open mind. At the end of the day, take what you want, leave the rest,
There were some things that they taught that I understand why they did, but I tried their method,
right?
But I found that what I learned in the Marine Corps was better.
Okay.
And I don't mean that in any disrespect. It is probably just because what I'm used to, and I'm going to give you an example.
Yeah,
so if you got a double feed, you're running your gun, you get the dreaded double feed.
Yep.
What they would have you do is, first you don't know what the malfunction is. So now in the Marine Corps, we did a tap, rack, bang.
Yep.
Now they're doing a push, pull, roll rack, which it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's just another way of doing the same thing.
Another way to do the same thing. And then, but if it was a double feed, they would have you lock the bolt to the rear, pull the mag out, stow the mag, and then
3 times.
rack. Lock the bolt. Or if I got this wrong, Chad?
It was rack, and then twiddle.
Wiggle. So they wanted
your
you to
fingers
stick
up in the mag well.
up in there and wiggle them so you could see there was nothing. And then once that was it, mag and which I get, but like for me a double feed, I would always just pull the mag out, rack.
Yeah.
Because when you pull that mag out, the offending rounds are going to follow it.
Right. Like gravity do its job.
In theory.
In theory.
In theory. I think their technique is for the one time that the round doesn't fall out,
right.
You can find it. But
it's
one
thing that work, never take a chance method.
Right.
Where I'm using what I learned in the Marine Corps. It's more than likely going to work, but perhaps you're taking a wee bit of a chance.
And their method also did not include ever taking your eyes from downrange. You're doing all this while not looking at
I've done some training like that too, and that's where it's like. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and in my experience, which is we've already said is not that much. I clear the jam and then roll the gun over and look in the chamber. You know, is it slower? Yes. I guess in a life or death situation, it would make a difference. But
and that's the thing. That's where you have to take all this with a grain of salt, because at this rate, you say you're on a flat range and they're having you do it their way. You're going to do it their way.
Yeah, well, you're going to do it their way.
The reality is, where are you at when you're shooting this thing? I'm probably going to hit the fucking deck and roll behind some cover if my gun's gone down, and Dick is stripping it out. You know, and I'm not me looking down range because I'm already getting behind cover, so I'm getting shot at. You know, but that scene that falls in that whole bullshit scenario thing of, well, but if the ninjas that are halo jumping see me hit the deck and roll around, they can start firing from their elevated positions and parachutes. And it's like, fuck off, just clear the damn gun, clear and keep moving. Do what you gotta do, get it clear. Your
average person, even if you take into, not to get off on a tangent, but you look at that thing that happened in Australia. You know, you could see the guy with the bolt action rifle had put some effort into training.
Yeah.
Because he was shooting and he was getting down behind the defensive position and all that shit. You know, but on the flip side of that is, it's quite hell being old. Lost my train of thought.
On the flip side of that, you were talking about.
I know what I said. I just don't remember why.
If they could have concealed carry, they could have shot those motherfuckers all.
Well, yeah, but besides that, had that been here, he probably would have been shot.
You're right, both of them.
You know, but like you said, you're training for it. I mean, it's not the inevitability of a situation like that developing is slim and none.
Yeah, it's always easy to argue about different things to fix things all day long when you're on a flat range, you know. And I'm not dogging flat range because that's most of our training is flat range training shit. But you know, the flat range clearing a malfunction sometimes I think is kind of bullshit to a degree, because you're still standing there out in the open. You're just standing there and you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. Fuck no. Make you do that shit like in the shoot house. You're like, oh shit, you're gonna fall back behind a goddamn wall and dip with it and tell me I'm not gonna go, oh fuck, it's clear. All right, cool. Let's get back.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna look.
You know, exactly. So I mean,
and the problem,
but I get it.
One of the other issues you really can't see the bottom of this mag, but we dropped our mags on the deck a lot.
Right.
So like you would pick your mag up, and when you picked it up, you could hear gravel in it.
Yeah.
Now I was just like, fuck it. Gravel, bullets, everything is going in the damn mag well.
Well, that's because it's a Barnes. It's a good rifle, I can tell you.
And I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not kissing Barnes' ass, but I have no fucking idea how I run that whole course, and I had one malfunction.
That was ammo, though, I think.
Well, I say, and what was the chance it was ammo or magazine?
No. Let me tell you the malfunction. It was the rifle 100%. It was rifle failure 100%. Ooh.
Trying to
So,
shake
What?
water.
How do you say that?
So we were shooting the night course, right?
Yeah.
And you had to go. They had doors. They had the 7-hole or the 9-hole set up, and another door. And I had went and topped off my mag. The gun was hot. Pulled the mag out, topped it off, stuck the mag in my pocket, walked to the fucking firing line. And they're like, okay, Hunter, make ready. Yep, I'm ready. Gun's hot.
Famous last fucking words. Not checking.
Walk to the door, and you kind of
No press check.
the rifle, hit the light, bam, good hit. Pull back, work to the other door,
click,
no bang. And I'm like, you're like, Hunter, unfuck yourself. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then I'm like, I reach around and I'm like, oh, you know what? I didn't put the fucking magazine back in the gun.
Maybe if you don't try to do a tap,
That's an operator valve. That's not a damn gun failure.
Right?
No, it was a gun failure.
You go click like this, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, this tap.
Well, that's what happened.
Right?
I boom, I shot, and I boom, and I heard, because I'm running the can, so I heard what to me sounded like a bolt going home on an empty chamber. But I knew that was not the case. So I pull back. I'm at high port. I come over. I throw out. I hit the light. Click, no bang. And I go, fuck, that's weird. Tap. And when I tapped, I'm hitting fucking ass cheeks, magwell. And I'm like, and my brain goes,
oh, shit.
Where's your magazine? And then I'm like, did I fucking hit the mag release? And it's on the deck, but it's so dark that I'm like, and then it dawns on me, oh, it's in my back pocket. So I reach in my back pocket, and they're like, Hunter, unfuck yourself. And I slam the mag home, rack, boom, boom, and then get my shots off. But my only failure was because for some reason, this Barnes rifle wouldn't work without a magazine.
Oh, imagine that.
Or ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah. It shot the one in the chamber. I was like, and then they're like, and of course, the instructor saw. He's like, "Hey, son." I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "I walked to the truck and topped it off," and which, in my stupid defense, I didn't want to be finger banging the loaded gun while I'm not on the firing line.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm just going to stick the magazine in my back pocket. No one there's around in the pipe. When they say make ready, I'm just going to insert the mag.
Right.
But when he said make ready, I just got off. I'm like, ready. I was all excited. So there you go.
Happens to the best of us, man. That's why I asked you earlier, like mag retention versus on the ground. Because, like, again, I know some instructors don't give a shit. Some are very serious about it. My opinion sways all over the place. Like, from running competition stuff, obviously it's fucking magazine out. Get rid of it. It's done. It's useless. Magazine in. But then doing the Kalashnikov matches in Missouri several years in a row, they required mag retention, and if you left anything on the ground, it was a penalty before your last shot. But part of that was to keep the pace of everything going, so you're not going back and fleecing up magazines. Which I was like, yeah, I get that, and much as I bitched to him about it. But the more I start thinking about it, it's like you think of shit hits the fan scenarios. You better retain your fucking magazines because you're not going back to an HQ of a battalion of people with more supplies and shit. Whatever you have on you is probably all you have. So you better get used to retaining
that home button. I don't know.
At Gunsite, they said if
1045.
If your mag was empty, you could let it hit the deck.
Okay.
But they were kind of and they were like, if it's got rounds in it, it's best to, of course, and I'm running a dump pouch.
Right.
So, they if it had rounds in it, they encouraged you to retain the mag. If it was empty, they kind of left it up to you.
Yeah, and I think that's a really solid way to look at it. But again, I think still people remember this shit is like, train accordingly. Do both. You want to go fast, super speed guy? Sure, dump it, throw a new one in, keep going. But also think of that. If you have a gun or you train for some of this shit because you're waiting for some magical shit hits the fan scenario, you don't have a big, huge support mechanism of shit behind you with more mags and ammo. You might need that shit. Retain those fuckers.
I'm of the
Is
mind
it fast to reload? No, but shit, man, do it.
When I'm training on the square range, moving, grooving, what have you, or even shooting a match, if I run the mag dry, I'll let it hit the deck. But I'm thinking in my mind, in the event, like God forbid this was something nefarious,
Need your water, please.
I would stuff it in my back pocket.
Right.
I would retain even an empty mag because once everything is cooled off, these are probably the only mags you're going to get.
Right.
So you're going to be reloading them.
Right. But I mean, again,
to your point is, yes, you're right.
I'm getting all my mags and ammo off my dead bodies.
Do what?
But I'm getting all my mags and ammo off my fallen enemies.
You might be the loot drop.
Yeah. They're like, oh, Chad went down.
Thanks, man.
Well, we're going to be flush with licorice and gumdrops.
That's fucking awesome.
But it was a really good class. I mean, I hate to harp on it, but
no, it's great.
There's always shit you don't agree with, but yeah, it sounds like you had a great time. Go for it.
I learned a lot.
Hunter, shut up.
Oh no, he's got it. Go ahead, finish your thing.
Okay.
Well, I was just good. My thought was Gunsite is the largest and oldest civilian training academy in the world.
That's what I thought.
Now they train a lot of military and they train a lot of the 3-letter groups, but Ken said that 70% of the people that train there are civilians.
That's good.
It is good. And that he said good. That's what he's like, law enforcement want to come train, FBI, ATF.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. Whatever.
But we want you, the civilian here, becoming proficient.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah.
I think the class itself, I don't really have any complaints. I learned a lot, in being open to learning things. I'm not set or
sure
have a bunch of habits that I've had for 20 years because
right,
like I said, I wasn't in the military or anything, but my only complaint on the place is by design their targets are awful. They're wonderful targets, but their design
aren't they all like camouflage, like even the paper targets?
Yes, and it's very, very hard to see.
I got a picture.
Their sweet spots.
The
they called it
Come
the
on,
gum
Chad,
drop.
just think center mass, man. Just center mass, buddy.
No,
check out this operator.
You can't see shit.
It's too washed out. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's me.
There we go. Look at that guy, the blue gun.
Yeah. Yeah. You better watch out.
So I had a class I've taken a couple years ago from a guy, and he had us focus at one point on hitting the groin and putting. Yeah, I'm familiar with seeing those things.
But the apricot there is hard to see.
Right.
You can't see it on your phone.
But that's intentional. They don't want you to see that shit. But my instructor, he had us intentionally doing groin shots, hip shots on the generic areas of a target. Because he's like, everybody, we always think center mass, hit the center mass, because that's great and all. He goes, but sometimes maybe it's out of view, whatever. He goes, go for the groin, humiliate them. He goes, you think the guy's really going to fight back if he blew his cock off? He may not.
Well,
but also, you hit him in the hip, pull their hip out, you're going to put them down on the ground, again, take them out of the fight. So it's like holes everywhere isn't a bad thing,
That was one thing that was mentioned. The thing that was mentioned was said, I've never seen anybody keep shooting when their dick was shot.
right. So, I mean, it's like yes, we all love to do tight groups, really tight groups in the spots we want to hit. But at the same time, more holes all through this whole torso area isn't a bad thing either.
Right.
No,
so
I mean,
it was a volley down too.
We did a lot of shooting. I mean, Hunter and Eric and them had much better groups than I did, but there was I may have had in the week 8 or 10 shots that were in the white outside of the actual target. The rest of them were body shots.
Right.
I mean, it would have been a bad day for somebody either way.
That's exactly what it is, man.
One of the instructors pointed out, they're like, look, like I had some that were on the fringes.
Right.
And he's like, and we were arguing a little bit about combat accuracy. because you know me, I can't get along. He was a retired colonel.
Oh shit! Here we
Oh
go.
yeah, and his shit was together. Like his shit was together. And he's like, "Look, Hunter, I get it. You're right. Combat accuracy is what we're going for." He said, "But our whole thing is here: aim small, miss small.
Right.
You know, we're training you to aim for a part of this anatomy that you've got to imagine to be tight. So under duress, if it opens up 30%, you're still
getting good.
You're still getting good hits on the body.
Yeah. Yeah. No, by all means, I'm not saying I want you to be intentionally hitting, the outsides of a torso, but
right.
But still, if you can't see the sweet spot here, still center line, hitting that spine. Whoo.
Right.
And I'll tell you one thing that it was pointed out to us, but it was true. Shooting paper targets as opposed to shooting a 3D steel plate is way harder. I do blinking plates. I hit them things like nothing. 150, 200 yards or whatever. Put me on a piece of paper at 100 yards, and it looks like I don't know what the hell I'm hitting.
There is a psychological thing to that for sure. I can't say I can deduce it much, but I totally agree with what you're saying, man. It's a night and day difference.
They had that first cart, little 4-wheel cart, with a third size IDPA steel target on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it would go out, stop, turn, move, back up, and you had to bang on that fucking thing.
Yeah,
and and he would. We were what do you think we were at? 50 yards, Chad? 35 yards?
That was on the 50-yard line.
And so,
the steel target was 100 yards.
Right. So they had, like, a lot of times to keep the class moving, Dave. You're like, okay, targets, 1 through 6, go over here to this side of the range. You're engaging a steel target.
Mm-hmm.
People
stationary steel,
11 come over here, and you're shooting static steel at 1 and 200 yards. And so you can have a firing line with 12 people, but we're broke up in 2 groups, and we're using 2 edges of it. Right. And it's like when you have shot the robot steel 3 times, 3 turns, then line up over here at the prone line.
Right.
So there was not a lot of waiting around.
That's cool.
Like if we were shooting something slow, let's say we had a shoot house, then what they would do is, here again, they would break up half the class for the shoot house, and the other half of the class went and did something else.
Right.
And then as students would finish, one of the instructors, Eric, was riding around on a 4-wheeler, and he would come over and visit. Once there was a couple students that had gone through the shoot house, he goes, "Okay, get in your truck, meet me over here." And then so there was not a lot of downtime.
Right. That's cool. That's good.
For
busy and fun moving event then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was exciting. It had its moments. At the end of the day, you're pretty tired. At least I was.
Sure.
Oh man, I had to come home every night and take a smoking hot shower. Chad would rub my back for like 2 hours.
Rubbing your back, rubbing your feet, something hello.
Yeah, that's me.
He would rub my back a little bit, and he'd give me a little pat, and right around, I think they call that the cleftal horizon.
Yeah, there's nothing like rubbing the back of a Neanderthal. Exactly.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys had a good time. Sounds like it's pretty sweet. I would definitely go out there. But going training classes is fun. I've never had a bad time with any training outfit, and God, I've gone trained with so many damn people. It's always been a good time. The other dudes out there you're shooting with, it's always a good time. Yeah, you start getting friendly with each other, and it's your usual shit of fucking around, but being serious about what you're doing. And damn, it's just fun.
There was this cat out there. He was a major in the USMC.
Okay,
Dougie Doug.
Okay.
Oh,
dude. Doug was super cool. Good shot. Super cool guy. He drove from Camp Lejeune to Paulden, Arizona.
Holy shit. That's a haul.
And then tent camp after the
The
rain.
entire week. It was 22 degrees in the morning there.
I have a buddy, Ivan, on YouTube. He's known as Kit Badger. He's another Marine hunter.
Hoorah.
And when we go to Moons Out, which is in West Virginia in the mountains in mid-March or late March, man, the one year it was 20 degrees. No, it was below 20. It was in the single digits because our water bottles were freezing on our bags and our belts and shit. And the next night it was 40 degrees and raining. And Ivan tent camps the whole fucking weekend there. I'm just like, dude, more power to you, man. Like, no fucking way. You couldn't pay me to do that shit. I'll stay in my nice Marriott.
We stayed in a nice place, man. It was about half-hour drive. Got up in the morning. They had was it a Marriott or a Hilton?
It was a Hampton Inn.
Hampton Inn,
which is a Hilton.
Yeah.
And they had breakfast made, and coffee and all that. So it was a pretty, we'd get up in the morning, go eat breakfast, and hit the road.
Right.
And they gave you every couple hours, you got about a 10-minute break, long enough to load mags and drink water.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
that's a little critical. Get the water in.
And they had cold water at every station.
Right.
And one of the things you do with your orientation, everybody gets a great big old steel water bottle.
Oh, that's cool.
So they're making sure they're like load ammo, drink water.
Hydration is so fucking important.
Yes. And they're like, I know it's
too.
not hot. I know you're not sweating, but you're still in the damn desert. It's going to pull it out of you.
Yep. That it will.
So we did that. And then they had a catered lunch, which was like $12-14 a day. And you pay up front. And it was, now you get to pick what you want. They got a pretty good, and that was pretty good. So you never have to leave until you're done for the day.
No, that's good.
Or
Which we've had that every time.
Put it in the refrigerator.
What was that, Chad?
We've had that every time we've been there. It's always a little box with a sandwich and chips, and
Right.
I mean it's good food.
That's cool.
So
Beats the shit out of having to make my stuff because my mommy or my wife wasn't there. So
that or go grab some like fast food shit. It's just shit.
here's the thing: there's nothing. You don't go anywhere and get anything to eat.
Right.
no,
You either bring food or you buy their food. You're going to starve.
Right.
yeah, they didn't. And one of the things anybody considering going before you go to Gunsite, go to Walmart and buy Cliff Bars and beef jerky.
Yeah.
And we kept that in the truck. And Chad, would you believe? I don't know why that just come on. We ate all the beef jerky except for one bag that we finished in the airport. And then
I didn't eat any of that. You ate it all.
Oh, well, Eric and I ate all the beef jerky, and then there's just a handful of Cliff Bars left.
Nice. No,
So
that's good shit.
snacks are important.
They are important.
They are.
Well, let's wrap up here, guys. That's I'm glad to hear you guys had such a cool time out there. I
didn't mean to dominate the podcast, brother. I mean, apologies, but
why are you apologizing for? I already told you I pretty much anticipated you guys to be rolling with it. I wanted to hear about your trip. I'm just saying we're wrapping up regardless because it's fucking 11 o'clock. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
As do I.
So
I gotta watch people work tomorrow.
Now there you go. All right, well, Chad, I'm glad you came back on, man.
Thank you for having me,
especially for not having done much training. I think that's fucking dope as shit.
You don't need to wave, Hunter.
The first guest we've had back twice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm here for the check.
Don't you feel special, Chad?
I do.
You're not special.
Usually, hey, I'm hoping to get special and get that new parking spot where they let me park out in front of buildings.
You can park right in the middle of the pond anytime you want.
Jesus.
We'll get you the slow bus or short bus pass.
Yeah, I pick up my passenger every day. The Gunsite was great. Thank you to Meprolite. Thank you to Eric. Thank you to Hunter. And it was and Barnes. Good point, Andrew. Yeah, I'll be in trouble if I don't thank Andrew.
No shit.
Yeah, he it was a really, really good time, and it was it, it it probably would not have been as good had I had some inferior equipment, but everything was,
makes it work.
yeah.
Live and learn, man. Dude, how many times I can tell you this particular, I'll make this quick. I've gone to, it hasn't been training so far, it's been matches. I've gone to rifle matches that were out of state, and I forgot my fucking sling. And luckily, I've had a sling on it was either a rifle bag or the other time I had was like a scabbard, like a rifle scabbard, and just had old school hooks. I unhooked that bitch from those bags, and I always keep paracord loops on all my shit, even on the stock. So it's got a QD socket and the sling loops.
Yeah.
I still keep paracord loop through just for that very
Just in
reason.
case.
I can hook up any damn thing to my gun in a pinch. Because I've forgotten slings and had to use the sling off of a camera bag, a rifle bag.
Yeah, I mean anything will work, right?
And now, granted, was it the best thing in the world? No, it was the fucking worst thing in the world. But still, I made it work. I could do what I had to do. I was usually de-slinging myself so the gun was free because the sling was so shitty. But when I was done, I could still then slow over the shoulder and be a-okay. So,
speaking of de-slinging, though, real quick, man.
Yeah.
One of the instructors, Dave Body, showed me a technique called swimming out of the sling.
Okay.
Where, like, if you're here, you could just take your arm and do like a swim motion, and you're out of the sling.
It's just hooked around the back of your neck. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's times when you're like that, it's annoying as shit, and you get it out.
You can just
freak shit up. Yeah.
Because I had mine, I was using it as a hasty sling. I would pop up and it'd be tight. However, they put us in some precarious positions,
and that shit doesn't work.
And it does. So instead of trying to come in and adjust it out,
right? Or
he's like, Hunter, just take your arm and just swim right out of it. Or it would make more sense if I had it on. You just kind of like the sling is here. You just kind of swim out, and then it's hanging off your arm.
Yep.
So that was one of the coolest things I learned. That was simple. If your sling is giving you trouble, just swim out of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
All right. See you there, Chad.
Yep. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
You too, buddy. Hunter, where do we find you, man? Where you at?
Rangehot.com. Y'all come see me. We got the new website. SEO is doing really well. I've got a lot of traffic coming through it. I'm proud of it. We still got a few small tweaks to make, but we're 85% there.
Nice. That's awesome. Find me. It's livefire-media.com. It's still a shit show of a website because, well, I'm busy. One day I'll make it a nice looking site, but today isn't that day. So,
but you got a footprint, and that's what counts.
That's right.
And I'm on Range Hot, sort of.
Sort of. Hey, me too. Technically, I've got a article on there.
Well, there it is.
Trying to make it more so you can find us all on Range Hot to a degree. So, all right, guys. Well, this was awesome, and we'll do this shit again. Those of you listening, I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, well, try again next time. And it's your loss, not ours. Peace.